I'm going to play an audio recording as an example or instance where I'm being violently discriminated, right? Harassed for wanting to use my Texas Mutual Insurance Company insurance for my Texas work injured workers compensation claim. Listen to what this guy's telling me in front of the assistant director at the JO WYATT Clinic here in Amarillo, Texas. Her name is Joy. So this is when I was filing a complaint. My appointment this morning was at I think 7:30. Could have been 8. And the time I recorded this incident was at 10. So I had an appointment with my primary care provider. And she was, doing the stuff that these doctors are doing to me, gaslighting me, right? Spending hours in these examination rooms, but I'm walking away with no medical diagnosis and no medical plan. So listen to this harassment. Imagine going to an urgent healthcare clinic and you're being observed or watched by an officer, security guard. They're treating you like a criminal, like you're breaking the law, like you're doing something wrong, right? That you're doing something illegal. Imagine that and listen to this.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. They have a phone here. Why? What's going on? They call me. Yeah, but why are they calling you? I mean, you're not going to harm me or anything, right? I've been to 4 years since, and I haven't been even on there. No. So what am I doing so long to be under, being watched? But I work in some yeah. No, that's totally fine. I'm not even.
So this is what discrimination looks like when you're a Mexican American, right? When you're a Mexican Jew. I didn't do anything wrong. And this is one of the problems I'm having here in Amarillo, Texas, in my workers' compensation claim. Keep in mind, I was assaulted by this medical doctor who's a gynecologist who's actually from Plainview, Texas. Here at the Concentra, I was assaulted illegally, right? Texas Mutual Insurance Company overrode my primary care provider doctor and set me an appointment up with Dr. Ernesto Jesus Mendez, and this dude assaults me, and he tells the police officers that that he decided to take my phone from me. And prior to this, I told the police officers he assaulted me. The dude knocked me out. The paramedics in front of the police officers asked me and told me, "Hey, you need to go to the hospital because your neck and back and arm is swollen." So that's the audio clip of that instance right there. JO WYATT Clinic. I was already there a couple hours. But keep in mind, this is, what I'm experiencing for my injury is a concussion. It's a rare thing. Not many people survive and live through a crush concussion. But imagine not being told you have a crush concussion nor concussion. So this is discrimination right here. And I'm glad I recorded this guy. You heard him. He told me he's been watching me for what? During 4 appointments already. So imagine 4 appointments at this point. I already went to this urgent healthcare clinic here in Amarillo, Texas, and they didn't diagnose me with any injuries. And I think on this day I was there because I was trying to get the MRI report and the physical therapy report. And up to today, 3 years later, this clinic still won't give me these documents. But I just want to point out, this is what the Texas Mutual Insurance Company is doing. They're using these doctors, and these doctors are illegally, and they're committing crimes, illegally harassing me. I don't know what these people are going to do. I know I've been assaulted. I know I haven't received medical treatment, and this security guard was watching me for at least four of my appointments, and I was unaware. This guy wasn't in the examination room, so what? I mean, how was he listening and watching me in his examination room? But what was the justification? I didn't threaten anybody. I didn't go in there cussing and arguing and doing any of that. Who would? Who goes and start pick fights with your medical doctor, right? Who does that? But I hope the Department of Justice sees this video on YouTube. So do me that favor. Press like on it, share it, help me get the word out there. This happened 3 years ago, and I'm currently still being discriminated, harassed, denied medical treatment. But this is being orchestrated by Texas Mutual Insurance Company, and the Texas Department of Workers' Compensation is allowing this to happen. I filed complaints just about, every department that I could here in Texas, even with the FBI and the Department of Justice. When Donald Trump was the president, I filed these initial complaints with the FBI, and I ended up on the FBI watch list. And all I could do is just keep putting my story out there. Eventually, someone's going to want to do the right things. Sooner or later, hopefully, our president, Joe Biden, watches video or gets, someone shows him this video, and he asked the Department of Justice to come and conduct a criminal investigation into my Texas workers' compensation claim. I need medical treatment. I have so many injuries in my body that need surgery, and this is 4.5 years later. I'm living in extreme pain every day, right? And man, I can barely walk. So it's affected me in many ways. Plus, these are brain injuries too. That's never good when you have brain injuries. But keep in mind, these doctors never told me about majority of these injuries. 100 catastrophic injuries throughout my body, to my brain, to my head, neck, all that. And I was a victim of discrimination at work. And then I get discriminated for filing. I get retaliated through violence for filing a workers' compensation claim. And no attorney will represent me. The common knowledge here, people say that attorneys don't want to come into the judicial system here in Amarillo, Texas, because they'll lose. They're implying that these powerful people, because that's what other attorneys had told me. Even the director of the Texas Office of the Injured Employee Council told me last year, I can't help you. And this is his job, but this is the state of Texas that funds the Texas Department of Workers' Compensation, Texas Department of Insurance, and the Texas Office of the Injured Employee Council. And this is the director telling me he can't help me. There's powerful people involved in the workers' compensation claim. And keep in mind, the Texas Mutual Insurance Company was founded by Texas legislation in 1993. And you heard the audio. What am I supposed to do? Right? And this is December 28, 2022. Now I have Social Security disability, I have insurance, and I'm still being denied medical treatment. I haven't done anything wrong, and everything they've done against me is illegal. So something so big as this requires the Department of Justice to come investigate this, because Texas government is behaving, right, as a tyrannical government. It's oppressing American citizens based on their skin color, based on their religion, based on who they are. And that ain't right. That's not American at all. But remember, this is Texas, and this is a conservative state. And conservativeness means, the tradition of Texas, enslaving human beings. No equal rights if you're not white. So hopefully the viewer, you help me out, press like, help me get this video out there. Help me to get help, right? Because this is what I'm willing to do. Look at, I'm here on YouTube now. I posted videos on TikTok. Keep in mind, any news agency can report on this, and they're refusing to. Or I haven't found the right news agency that's willing to investigate this and expose the truth. And it's going to involve a lot of politicians, a lot of powerful people that are billionaires and millionaires. That's the barrier I'm faced with. But I'm an American citizen. I'm American. Really? You think you're just going to trample all over me and dehumanize me and then prosecute me with your same law and then and protect yourself because you're in charge of the law here in Texas? Come on now. You're violating my civil rights. I have equal protection rights too here in Texas and anywhere in the United States of America. But imagine that. Imagine what I was experiencing. Because remember, this is a crush concussion. So I'm still confused going to these appointments, asking for help, being abused, being gaslighted, being psychologically abused, being harassed, being watched, being treated as a criminal, right? There's no due process. Why? Because let's say, for example, Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General, if he conducted a criminal probe or investigation into this, there's going to be a lot of people getting charged with attempted murder charges, even medical doctors and nurse practitioners, and there's going to be negligence of medical care, right? All kinds of serious crimes on top of the assaults with heavy machinery when I was at work. I filed, this is on paper at the Texas Department of Workers' Compensation. I filed all three Texas, my Texas work accidents here in Amarillo, Texas back in 2018. But you, the viewer, you heard the audio. This is a security guard right next to Joy, the assistant director at the JO WYATT Clinic, watching me, harassing me. I'm just asking for help. Just like today, I'm asking for help. But I'm an American citizen, and if the law doesn't apply equally for me and you and everybody else, what does that tell us here in America? That we're losing our rights. I definitely lost my rights. But keep in mind, the United States Constitution recognizes every one of us as American citizens with equal protections of the Constitution and state laws. Okay, there's no argument about that. But when we vote, to put people in power, right, to govern us, it's these people that have a problem. They don't think Mexican Americans are equal American citizens to them. And I'm not saying all white Americans are racist. Everybody knows that. And plus, I'm half white, half German and Irish and Polish, right? From Poland and Yugoslavia and Finland and those beautiful places, and Spain, right? But what else am I supposed to do? Maybe you, the viewer, can offer some advice, right? But remember, I'm on the FBI watch list. So if you threaten me or if you're somebody involved in this workers' compensation claim, yeah, leave a comment, threaten me, because it's other viewers will see it too, and somebody can at any time drop a anonymous complaint to the Department of Justice, and they can show them this video, right? Go on TikTok, right? My account the name is Talking Box, and you can see the videos, and I have nothing but evidence, tons of evidence. It's so crazy. I tell my ex-wife, we should tell her that every time these doctors, every time these people involved in my workers' compensation claim, every time that they lied to me and denied me medical treatment, it seemed like God was involved. And what I mean by he was involved is that I was given evidence from these doctors and Texas Mutual Insurance Company and the Amarillo Police Department, all these people involved that I've been talking about, the Texas Department of Workers' Compensation, the Texas Office of the Injured Employee Council, right? Attorneys. It's like God gave me evidence from them, a paper trail, audio recordings, of them breaking the law and denying me justice, right? Violating my civil rights, violating my 14th Amendment rights, equal protection here in Texas. And this is serious. And this happened 3 years ago. This audio recording. And the reason why it's taking me so long to make this video is because I'm in pain right now. My whole left side, guys. Oh my God, I'm in insanity pain. Plus, where I come from, if you lose your mind, you lose everything. So I've been recovering outside of medical treatment, right? Even though I could show I've been going to the Texas Panhandle Center for the last 3 years, and they never diagnosed me with PTSD. They refused to. Until now, it took for them to get me voluntarily committed to the Pavilion, the mental health hospital here in Amarillo, Texas, and it took 2 nurse practitioners to advocate for me to get me diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and not bipolar, because bipolar was just mental health abuse by a psychiatrist who's Latina. Let me suffer mentally is what the psychiatrist was allowing, not wanting to diagnose me with post-traumatic stress disorder. And why not with PTSD? I have extreme PTSD. This is a miracle I'm alive. And that's why I know God is involved on top of all the evidence that I was given. Imagine that. And this crush concussion, man, I told you, last year I ended up in the Pavilion because I was asking for help from Texas Mental Health Hotline through Texas Panhandle Center. They never reported to my psychiatrist. And I even told my psychiatrist, I was like, look, something don't seem right. My mind is beginning to process or allow to accept what happened, and I don't feel good. I was getting nauseous. You guys don't even know at the beginning of all this, when I talked about all this stuff, this trauma, I would get nauseous, feel like throwing up. I would get dizzy, and then my mind would just shut down. I would have to wait 6 months to a year just to even talk about this again. Imagine that. And I would force myself talking to attorneys, calling attorneys, right? Up to 80 attorneys, they don't want to decline me. And then I get used by the Shanahan and McNaughton law firm based now in Dallas, Texas, right? They use me. They exploited me. So basically what I'm saying is, because of all this trauma and the brain injury, this is traumatic brain injuries. And this is a crush concussion. They exploited that. They saw me. And that's why that medical doctor attacked me and knocked me out in the manner he did. That was attempted murder. And that's why the police covered it up, along with Texas Medical Board. Texas Department of Workers' Compensation knows about it. They're just allowing it to happen. They're sending me a clear message. Hey, keep messing around with this insurance this insurance claim. We're going to murder you. We're going to kill you. And they tried to. But that's the beautiful thing about my story, is that these people know I got crushed, needed medical treatment, still do. And they attacked me physically. They mentally attacked me, psychological abuse. So when you read about that or hear people talking about it, you don't think it's a real thing. It's real. Go look it up. All I can tell you is what it was like. And then with the confusion because of the brain injury and the head injury, crush concussion. And that's why I took, I was in a daze for 3.5 years. Imagine that. I swear I was, because that blurred vision, I still have it a little bit, right? And I still suffer. I mean, my health is improving. Good thing. Bless God, right? But for 3.5 years, I would try to talk to people. I didn't like being on social media, and that's why I wasn't on social media here on YouTube and any other platforms from 2018 and up to this year. Really, I started posting things, I think, last year on YouTube once in a while. But when I would try to focus on people talking to me, looking at things, my vision was double vision, right? Like when you get cracked in your head, you have double vision. I had that for 3.5 years. That's what that blurred vision was. And these people treated me like a criminal for asking for help. And these are medical doctors and nurse practitioners and nurses. These are directors and assistant directors of both hospitals here in Amarillo, Texas, and many urgent healthcare clinics. And good thing these people are religious, right? They know. As soon as I told them, I started telling my case manager, the doctor, when I came back here in 2019, I began telling the Texas Panhandle Center doctors and my case manager, look, these people you guys haven't misunderstood. Look, I studied the Bible in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, and that's why they haven't physically attacked me in the last 3 years, because they believe in God, right? They just have a perverted understanding of the New Testament. I read it in Greek. I lost a lot because of the brain injury, and I'm trying to study again, right? But I need my justice. I need medical treatment. These injuries, I need surgery 4.5 years ago. And I need to find out how severe my body is injured, because all this pain I'm feeling like right now, in my rib cage, oh my God, it hurts. It hurts so bad. My freaking neck, the swelling right here, oh my God, it's crazy. Plus, from the MRI report, it says that my left shoulder blade, I have so I can't even think of the name now. But my rotator cuff is torn. Imagine that. This audio recording, that's what I was there for. To find out, hey, did you get this report back? What's the MRI? What's going on with my shoulder over here and throughout my body? They didn't give it to me. Like I said, it's been 3 years now, over 3 years, and they still refuse to give it to me. But this is the beautiful side of the story too. That's how I know God is real. Because that psychological abuse, I didn't, and these are domestic terrorists. Not only did they physically attack me, but mentally they attacked me and emotionally. Whew, those feelings, those emotions I had to go through. I went homeless. I sold my truck when I got back to Denver. I had to be away from everybody because nobody was helping me. And maybe the way I was presenting what happened, but I didn't know. I thought I was functioning normally, right? But I was getting angry within myself, irritated. I was confused. I was feeling nauseous. I was feeling sick. Vision's blurred. I feel dizzy when I move. I'm in so much pain, right? That's psychological abuse on top of the physical abuse. And this is real. But this is what this video is about, to, talk about how this security guard was being used as a weapon to harass me, to discriminate me, to deter me from using my Texas Mutual Insurance Company by law, by Texas law. I haven't done anything wrong. That's why these cats have been charging me for insurance fraud. They can't. They committed crimes against me. The evidence supports my story, not them. But they control the system here in Amarillo. And keep in mind, on TikTok, I've been blasting this, stories all year long. And I think Greg Abbott wants to make it illegal for government workers to use their government issued cell phone to go on social media like TikTok, because I'm pretty sure they're watching my videos, right? These are the opponents, or I'm the opponent to them. They're trying to get everything they can because they know we're going to court sooner or later. They know sooner or later someone's going to do the right thing at the Department of Justice and come investigate them and hold them accountable. So I think the Department of Justice should go in get these cell phones, because who knows who's watching my videos. I have over, almost 500,000 views in these videos and stuff. So, and maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm exaggerating, right? It's conspiracy. Come on now, miss me with all that. You know, what's the real reason why Greg Abbott wants to, you know, make it illegal and not let government workers go on social media like TikTok? Is it coincidence that I'm on there talking about him and his government and these powerful people and all these crimes they committed against me? I think so. The way everything's been in the last 2 years, right? Since COVID-19, everything just spun out of control. Misinformation there, disinformation over there. People left confused. And that's why I promote to be an independent researcher. Use social media, use the internet, use the technology responsibly to promote the common good and welfare of people here in the United States of America and in the world. You don't think we have an impact on the world? The world's watching us. We're the most powerful country in the world. I don't know what Donald Trump was telling everybody, but these are Donald Trump and that Republican regime under him. They're fear mongers. That's how I took the news. I was like, man, it's not like this dude over here is trying to terrorize the minds of all of us, right? But we're the most powerful country in the world. I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know what other American citizens or even why you giving up on us for. Why give up on America? You really think we're the weakest country in the world? You really think other countries are stronger and more powerful than us? No, they're not. That's why they don't make moves against us. They keep playing around with the United States of America. They're going to find out why they want democracy in their own country, right? Why the civilians, the citizens, they're just like me and you. And I don't like the way how the news or just a lot of things we see on TV, how it misrepresents these other countries. We think they're third world countries still. No, they're not. These people are more advanced than us. They have skyscrapers that are more advanced than us. But this is the audio recording, and I have a lot more audio recordings too. Now of the assault by the medical doctor, because I told you he knocked me out and got me from my phone and destroyed that recording. It's so real. The investigators at the Texas Medical Board, and I don't know how that process works because I'm under so much stress and pain, right? I don't know how the system works over there, but it was a prosecutor that represented me at the Texas Medical Board, but I was only allowed to get my statement to the Texas Medical Board. I wasn't able to sit in, and this was over Zoom. And remember, this is COVID-19, the second year of it, and how professionals weren't sure, and nobody wanted to get sick, so I couldn't. And plus, that's over in Austin, Texas. I'm in Amarillo, Texas. How am I going to get over there for this hearing? But they didn't let me sit in and listen to what this medical doctor was saying, and they haven't reached out to me. I've been reaching out to them, and they won't respond now. But I'm gonna keep going hard. I'm gonna keep speaking out and telling the truth. And the truth is, Mexican Americans are being discriminated over here in Texas, and because people are standing idle, right, on standby, just watching all this happen, hoping it don't happen to them. Now it's just prevalent. It's everywhere. Everyone, anyone is to say, it's possible you can die tomorrow at work. God forbid. I don't want that to happen to you or anybody I know. And that's why I'm putting these videos out there. I'm doing my best. I'm keeping a positive attitude. I'm keeping myself afloat. But I need help. I'm in so much pain. I want to know why the Department of Justice hasn't reached out to me. I'm just watching the news and reading news reports, workers dying here in Texas, across America, mass shootings, and nobody is doing the right thing because the lobbyists infiltrated our government and they control a lot of politicians, Democrat and Republican. But it really seems like, and the Democratic politicians that are being supported by the lobbyists, well, you already know who they are. Like this lady Cinema, right? She's not in a Democrat, part of the Democrat Party no more. She went against the people of America that voted her into office. Now she's an independent. So that's what happens when a government begins to be swayed by corruption, right? It's always money. Nothing good comes out of money when you begin taking life and abusing people. And you begin to hear stories like mine, right? And but I'm not afraid. That's why I'm making these videos. I already went through 4.5 years fearing for my life, being abused, all this stuff. Now I'm healing and now I'm regaining my voice and now I'm beginning to talk out publicly to get people's attention of what's happening here in Amarillo, Texas against me. Imagine that. What did I what's so special about me? For all these politicians and all these health professionals and police officers, right? At the Amarillo Police Department and judges and district attorneys, these people have higher education. They're rich. What's so special about me? I'm a poor man over here. I was minding my own business at work. Why these people want to assault me? Why you want to try to murder me at work? Why you going to try to murder me in these urgent healthcare clinics? Why you going to deny me medical treatment? I'm just a poor man. I'm nobody significant, but we're dealing with cowards because they marginalize people and they target people that are by themselves. I don't have anybody behind me. I'm pretty much an orphan over here. So they're picking on a person that has no family, right? I have 3 older brothers. That's it. And we stopped talking years back over all this that happened because they didn't want to help me. But what do I do? Right? No one's in my corner. All I can do is keep pushing forward, keep publicly talking out, try to advocate for myself and try to advocate for other people. Eventually, there's at least one other human being here in the United States of America, at least in the world, that's going to say, you know what, I'm in a position to help this man over here. This is wrong. This is morally wrong. This is criminal. This is dehumanization of a human being. And, to come and help. And all I could do is just keep talking out, keep speaking out, calling everything as it is until I get somebody's attention. But don't stand by and hear about me dying over here, if you will. I mean, no news agency will report on, right? I contacted news agencies here in Amarillo, Texas, and other states. Nobody wants to report on this. So if I get murdered by these people, don't try to go protest out there. I'm just another Mexican American that just bit the dust. Another one bites the dust, and it be covered up because that's what they're doing here in Texas. But I'm not afraid. I served my time being terrified in my mind. 4.5 years, right? And every day I wake up, man. This psychiatrist, these doctors, 4.5 years, they allow me to suffer mentally from post-traumatic stress disorder, nightmares and all, waking up sweating, waking up just fully alert, ready to run away because I'm 4.5 years into fight or flight mode, right? And I ain't trying to fight nobody. I ain't no fool. It's me, you know, I have a government against me here in Texas, right? Texas government. Imagine that. Waking up, you know, can't sleep. I tossed and turned. I thought I was waking up because of my body injuries and the pain. Shoot, these people are watching me at the pavilion last month. They started noticing something strange about me. All having nightmares, right? And these nightmares, I hardly remember them, but I have weird nightmares. Everything's black. Like for example, a couple weeks ago, I had a nightmare. I remember, and I was telling my roommate, like, "Look, man, in my dream, everything was pitch black." But I had the impression that somehow I could see objects, and these objects were steel plates, big square steel plates, you know. But everything was pitch black. That's severe post traumatic stress disorder. And these doctors allow me to suffer in this manner. But I'm not leaving Amarillo. Sorry, I'm an American citizen. I have the right to be here too. The law equally protects me too. It's just that we get people in office that think otherwise, that are anti-American, that are anti-American values, right? They're against the United States Constitution, trying to overthrow our democracy, trying to enslave people. Don't play around. Take this stuff serious. Don't be one of them people that think it won't happen to you and then it happens to you and God forbid you die, especially at work. You think you have your game sold up, right? Everyone likes you, respects you. Please, these cats are waiting to catch you slipping so that they can step on you to get in your position and up higher to make more money. Because that's what happened here in my workers' compensation claim. That's what happened at Uvalde, Texas. That's what happened at El Paso, right? Who was saying that, you know, and you still have Governor Greg Abbott spreading misinformation, telling Americans, right? There's this invasion of legal immigrants here. Now there, you know, he's getting the Texas National Guard involved, and now the Texas military and the Texas Air um, Air Force. Look at these reports. It's coming out. Now they're repeating the same behavior that the Department of Justice just sued and won against Arizona and that governor, right? The going out governor, I don't know his name, but they're putting those cargo boxes on the border. Now they got to remove them. What's Governor Abbott doing? While here in Texas this year, these people are talking about, it's been reported in the news. They truly want to succeed, right? They want to secede from the United States. They want to become an independent country. I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting, please. Because I know a whole lot of people are going to go against Texas, come right up in here and take it, and you know, well, and so, but the United States government is not going to allow them to secede from us. What are you talking about? We let you into our union after you caused, you know, and partook in this rebellion against our Constitution. You're not going to use this for all these years, get our protection, our taxpayers' money, and all this stuff, and then try to get in your head that you're going to, you know, leave the United States. Really, people really believe that that Texas can't function by itself? No, they can't. And that's why the Department of Justice needs to come investigate these people. Start here with me and my workers' compensation claim, right? Sounds like I'm a whistleblower, and that's what I am. But once again, I'm an American citizen where these politicians, right, these people that are in charge of the law here in Texas state of Texas, they don't recognize me as an American citizen. And I'm not the only one. Everybody that's of color, it's here. It's coming, right? I saw it come 4 years ago, all this racism, all this stuff, but nobody wanted to help me. They couldn't handle the truth. But, you know, look at that stunt. This guy is almost a conservative Christian, right? Greg Abbott. But on, right, Christmas Eve, sending 130 immigrants to Vice President Kamala Harris's house, right? Then they said, look, she didn't even know they were there. She lives in a private community. She's the vice president of the United States of America. Really, I'm surprised they're able to drive down there. I mean, where's the security for the vice president, right? This is her private home. Maybe she wants to start reconsidering her position. Like, man, I need help out here. I need security because this is the United States vice president, right? Wouldn't you want that kind of respect and that dignity and that protection? You're gonna let this government send these people over there, and these people aren't doing nothing wrong. Now in the news, right? They're gonna tell us, oh yeah, they agreed. Then you see other reports saying, no, they were lied to, and also they're being forced. They're you don't have to only there's many ways to threaten people and dissuade them because that's what they're doing to me. It's called psychological and emotional abuse. And he sent 130 illegal immigrants that turned themselves into they're asylum seekers. They're here legally. What are you talking about? They're not illegal immigrants. That's just these people promoting hate speech, like I've been talking about. No one's even talking out on this, right? I'm watching Chicanos and Mexican Americans and Native Americans calling them illegal immigrants too. Not everybody, but it seems like everybody, because it seems like a large group of Mexicans over here and Native Mexicans over here thinking they're better than these people coming from Mexico, right? Or other parts of South America. Not knowing and not understanding. So these Mexican Americans that are supporting that thinking they're better, they don't understand. The news agency on an intellectual level, people with higher educations, when they look at this these news reports, and they call them illegal immigrants, they're looking at me and you. And that's why we're being treated like we're third, fourth class citizens, and that ain't right. This is our ancestral land in the first place. But we all love the United States government, right? This is the land of opportunity of the free and the brave, right? But what do you do when I'm not saying the United States government is against me. I'm just saying Texas government is against me. And I'm wondering, where is Joe Biden at? Where's Kamala Harris? Where's the activists for Mexican Americans? We don't even have any civil rights activists. I've reached out to many places. You could go on Google search and look them all up. And LULAC, right? LULAC, I contacted them. Everybody, nobody wants to help. The Department of Justice, but remember, the FBI got my complaints too. I've been telling them we're being targeted out here. So who knows what's going to happen? But I ain't afraid anymore. I'm healing. I'm getting my voice back. I'm training myself how to rethink and to talk again. But I just wanted to show the audio recording of the assistant director, Joy, and the security guard. So who, the question is, if I was an investigator, I'll go over there. Today, I still want to find out why. Why was the security guard telling me in front of the assistant director, Joy, when I was there at a medical appointment and the doctor refused to give me my MRI report, right? My physical therapy report. Why was a security guard watching me in at least 4 previous appointments with me not knowing it? Is that illegal? That's illegal. You can't discriminate against people. You can't just sit there and say that and criminalize them because they're Mexican American, please. Right? But because the security guard was involved without me knowing it, this explains why these doctors. And so this is just proof for this instance. What about the other times at the hospitals, at the other urgent healthcare clinics? And this explains why these doctors were screaming at me and threatening me and yelling at me and gaslighting me because they knew I have these brain injuries. And they know everything I'm telling you. These are people that treat every one of us. on any given day. God forbid your health deteriorates and you got to rely on these people, right? Because they're going to save your life. They have the medicine, they have the remedies, right, to treat you. So why would I go in there arguing with these people and fighting with these people? I never done that in my whole existence here in the United States of America, right? My whole life. Only a fool would do that. How are you going to go and disrespect people that are there trying to help you in a time of need? But what do you do when you have criminals that are, are medical doctors and nurse practitioners, when they choose profit over the life of their patients? And like I said, all I could do is keep talking and talking and talking and showing evidence, right? But the stress don't get, man, it still gets the best of me. That's why it's taken this long for me to even just, put out a little audio recording so that the viewer can understand this is serious. But don't let these cats murder me. I didn't want to do something. What's the point? I'm dead. you know, my suffering's over with. But I'm using this story to promote the common good for all of us here in the United States of America. We have to understand we can't be divided. We got to unite. That's actually an obligation of us being American citizens. That's the dream of the forefathers. And why do you think they're running from Europe and being attacked by people in Europe during that time? Because what they were, those governments were doing, and behind religion, the church, right? Those people were raping them. Same thing they did to Native Americans over here and Africans, right? Enslaving them, bringing them over here. They were doing to the indigenous people in Europe. So, and they were doing that a long time ago, almost 2,000 years ago. But no one talks about it, right? Nobody wants to educate themselves. They just want to join somebody's bandwagon, me against you, you against me. I don't want to live in the United States like that. Unfortunately, people have to go to work tomorrow or, in a few hours, and they have to ask themselves, am I safe at work? What can I do to protect myself at work? And like I said, God forbid you're in Texas, you're going to die out there. Not necessarily going to be be a victim of a mass shooting, but you're going to be in a trench, right? Being exploited because you're poor and you need a job. And now you got to make a decision. Do I risk my life to make this little $100, $80, right? Because minimum wage here is $7.50. So you really think this labor company is paying them $20? Yeah, right. Right? They ain't paying them no $20 an hour, $10 an hour at the most. And these two dudes lost their life. Condolences to their family and all the other workers that are dying here in Texas and across the United States of America. But who's talking about it? Like I said, Mexican America, we don't have any activists for us. We don't have anybody in our corner. And it's affecting everybody. Everybody knows it. Other communities know it. The black communities know it. The white community, the Asian community. It's like these communities are waiting for us over here, right? Now we have our little minority group. You got people like me that are Ashkenazi, right? And Sephardic Orthodox Jewish descendants from the B'nai Onisim. So they're waiting on us. What are we going to do with this, all this information, right? What are we going to do with the power that we do have, being a majority group? Mexican Americans are the majority here in the United States of America. And if you want to argue and disagree, then use your common sense, use your logic. Mexico is just right there. You're going to tell me over the years that, right, going back into the 1930s and 1940s, the time that the Republican President Roosevelt illegally and massively deported Mexican American citizens, up to 2 million and probably more, out of here. That's how big we were back then. Why? Because this is our ancestral land. And when they misrepresent American history, you don't even know. You think that because you're Mexican or Chicano that you come directly from Mexico. No, you don't. You're right. In California, where it's supposed to be, East Coast, all that. You don't believe me? Look up the Yaqui tribe. That's where I'm from. I'm not registered with my tribe, but I'm a Pasqua Yaqui. I got aunties and grandparents buried right now at the, in Tucson, Arizona, the Yaqui cemetery. Look at American history. Look at the Yaqui tribe. We're all over here in the United States of America, mainly the Southwest and the West Coast. But when people lie to us about our own history, right, the intention is for us to not remember our history, to erase our history. Then you don't have a history. You don't have no principles to stand on. But it's going to take a lot of education to educate yourself, and you can. And then what are you going to do with it, right? Hopefully you'll do the right thing and educate other people. Be patient with people. Be kind. Be willing to listen. Be willing to not only expect people to hear your voice, but you also have to be willing to listen to other people's voices. Everybody has experiences in life, whether they're good, whether they're bad. So we can learn from one another. And that's why on TikTok, even on YouTube, like, you know what? The black and brown communities unite already. What's the problem here? Because in these black communities and these Mexican communities, right, Chicano communities, who's with us there too? White Americans, Asian Americans. So when people try to say, hey, you're being racist, you're leaving out white Americans, well, hey, sorry, you're not from the ghetto where we're from. We're impoverished over here. So when we say the neighborhoods or the hoods or the ghettos, yeah, that's who's there with us too. White Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, right? So it's not a black and brown unification I'm talking about. I'm talking about all communities uniting under the banner of the United States of America, right? But it is what it is. God bless everybody. I'm going to sleep or trying to, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I am just tired. Forgot to check my audio, but so I'm just telling my story about what's happening, what's going on, how it's affecting me, right? And yeah, it's a sad story too, but there's a happy ending, right? I'm living, I'm functioning, I'm moving forward, still asking for help. And just think about it, what it's like for me, Texas State, and it seems like, and it makes it feel like the United States government doesn't represent me no more and isn't willing to protect me, right? That's what it feels like every day. But I'm not afraid because I have faith in the American people. Majority of us are good people, non-racist people, people that want to unite, people that want to interact with each other, that have no problem interacting with people from different cultures. Why? Because we need each other. Common sense tells us that. And all I can do is just keep talking, telling the truth, being grateful for YouTube and TikTok and all these social media platforms that give us the opportunity to have a voice. And I'm pretty sure the creators, thought about it. Well, maybe people, something like this serious could happen, like in my case, and someone's going to need their voice out there. And this could be a reason why they made YouTube the way it is, and for free, right? But if you subscribe, then you get more benefits and everything, and it's all legitimate. It's people are making tons of money. So thank you guys for creating this platform. I'm grateful, and I don't think you guys get enough credit. But that's exactly what's happening, and that's exactly what I'm dealing with here in Amarillo, Texas. And I'm still just, I can't wrap my mind around, like, it's too real to believe, right? Even though I got all this evidence. Because I know I was supposed to die 4.5 years ago. When you get crushed with a heavy machinery, adios, especially when the point of contact is first your head. Mm-hmm. But it also showed me too how powerful those hard hats really are and how they really do and can save your life. So God bless the creator of the hard hat, right? Man, you really don't think until you experience something like, you hear my story and you hear someone that's still alive. Yeah, that hard hat helped protect my head too. Shoot. I still got crushed, but it did protect my head. And some, and my hard hat, I had minute fractures on it. I had that hard hat, still have it back in Colorado. So just in case something happens to me out here, someone can say, look, to the investigators, because eventually someone's going to investigate this, right? Unfortunately, in my case, I got to wait for justice, but it's going to come, and then they can see the hard hat themselves and they see the minute fractures in it. That's the plastic crumbling sound I heard when that excavator bucket was being lowered on top of my head. So I just wanted to share with you this audio recording of how the security guard with Assistant Director Joy at the JO WYATT Clinic was just harassing me, denying me treatment, intimidating me, trying to deter me from using my insurance. Good night, everybody.